All right.
Yes.
Let's go to the original subdivision. Let's go check this subdivision out.
The original?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Here we are. This is the original subdivision.
Welcome to Rancho.
This here is in Lakeland as you head towards Zephyr Hills. And back in the 80s, when they were selling subdivisions, I mean, if you guys ever remember that quote, buying swampland, well, this is the original subdivision in Polk County, and there's been many others in Lakeland, that back in the day, they used to just sell property without you showing up to the property.
Yeah, so you didn't see it.
Right. I mean, they showed you this, but they didn't show you what it looked like.
You got lakefront property. You sure do.
Right.
Your whole property is lakefront.
So what they used to do back in the day is, you know, they would sell it by phone or advertisement, you know, before internet and stuff. And they would say, this is 1,100 acre subdivision, you know, juice it up just like they would normally do a subdivision. Tell you it's gonna be a lot of houses in here. You're gonna have this, you got the Hillsborough River over that hump behind you, and you would buy the property sight unseen in person. And this is why we do a lot of subdivision videos, just to get you guys to know what you're buying into. So I can't remember who had owned it, but the guy had gotten arrested and everything, and he was selling this property. And then this is what, if everything would have went through, if they would have built houses, what your property would have been. And mind you, this is only after a tropical storm. They've put some fill-in dirt in here every now and then, but still, this is what, you know, you've never recover from this. So this is the Rancho. These walls were the original walls that were put up, because this is how they had advertised it and everything. And now it's just an ATV park. Deeds are sold on here. So you would buy, say like that pallet size property. You pay the taxes on here, and only the people that have deeds can come on here. Before it used to be open, a lot of people would come in here. Then people were shooting guns off, dumping trash, putting fires. And there's some houses like that way. And I think there's some houses that way as well. Well, anyway, people are shooting, you know, their guns off and everything. So finally, the county got fed up. They fenced it in. Only people now, if you have the deed, is permitted on here. If they catch you on here, you can get arrested for trespassing and stuff. If you have a friend that has a deed on here, you can only come when he comes on here. Back in the day, you can say like, hey, my friend said I can come on here. And now they don't do that no more. But I'll zoom it in just to show you that when they say back then you're buying swampland, this is where a lot of the quotes came from. And I wish I could remember the guy's name, but yep, he went to jail for all of this. So just remember, guys, when you're buying property in Florida and you're not here to watch your property or have someone here, or just not do research in the area, this is literally what you can be buying into. But yeah, but again, I mean, now it, you know, it holds events and stuff, and a lot of people do come here. It does get packed. Not that many people out today, but even on a regular rainy day, this can be, you know, this is all the people's probably trucks that they've lost. But that's what you're basically looking at. The Rancho Bonito. And you can see how they had advertised this area here. So that would have been your subdivision. So every person that comes here owns a lot. You see, they even had the street names and everything. I mean, they were ready. They were ready to get some suckers in here. So it just shows you again, do your research, guys. Do your research before you buy. I know we've helped Carlos and Sean and other people a lot looking for property. People, you know, we do have a lot of subdivision videos where there's still houses for sale and stuff.
That's
and you,
why you gotta be careful when you're buying property.
yeah, you can see the whole road and everything. And they, you know, they still have deeds. But they've been trying to shut this place down for the longest, again, because of just a lot of, you know, people just ruining it for everybody. But yeah, and that's why when we give you, sometimes we give you advice and stuff on something, I might say negative stuff about it, but in the decision, it's all yours. It's always good to know the good and the bad about an area. Because again, if you're not from here, you're moving from up north. Like I said, a lot of people that got scammed on this lot here.
On these lots.
Yes, they got scammed big time back in the 80s. And it was, and it's just not here in Polk County. This was happening all over in Florida, especially in the Miami areas. I mean, they were just selling swamp land that was dried at the time. And
they knew it would flood.
Yes. They knew this would flood. And just imagine, back in the 80s, there is no sewer. Even with sewer, you couldn't stop this because this is all the Hillsborough River that overflowed here. But just again, there was no sewer. You had septic tank. Your houses weren't built as high as they are in today's standards. I know in 93, the house was built high. And then, you know, as the years pass, and now in 2024, you know, houses have to be built high regardless. Our property is on sugar sand, which doesn't hold water. This is farm dirt, swamp dirt that the water holds. It's the best dirt ever because you don't have sinkholes. But, you know, this is the result you're going to get, is this here. So just remember, when you hear that phrase, swampland, you want to buy some swampland, or Florida sells swampland,
or we'll sell you some lakefront property.
Yeah,
be careful with that.
This is basically
your lakefront property,
what they were selling back then. And even today, with some subdivisions being built, you still have to be careful of it to get swampy. Do your research. If they knock down a whole bunch of trees and there was never nothing there forever, and they're building it up with dirt, you can build up dirt all you want to. This is a tropical storm. Rainy days, when we get our rainy season, it gets like this as well. Imagine a category 3, 4, and 5. This water would literally, and there's times, because if you've seen across the street over there, they have water on their property and everything. I mean, all these houses down this road literally have water up to their doorsteps. And like I said, but these people are private owners and they knew about this. This was a con that nobody knew about this. All right, BB. Let's check out this one little area here. I will say this much, ever since it's turned into the ATV park, with the people deed owners on here. They've definitely taken care of it very
Yes.
well. They have events, but again, it's only for the owners.
Yeah.
And you can't park along here no more. I mean, this used to be packed, but you can see all this would have been yours underwater, and you could see people, private owners on this side of the road.
Yep.
I mean, that's just several days after. That's all.
And eventually you'll start seeing gators coming out of here.
Oh yeah, gators, snakes, and everything. So, but yeah, that's just a history learned, you know, about people that are buying here.
That's why we always tell you guys that if you are looking to buy property, and it doesn't matter whether you're in Florida, anywhere, you guys need to research it thoroughly, try to take a trip and see the property, because you could be an unlucky one and it could be lakefront property. That means opening up your door and there's a lake right there. And
the thing is too, is that if they had built that dirt up, they would have been able to build houses on there, but you couldn't stop that Hillsborough River.
No, you can't stop the river
from coming up.
You can't.
That high.
And I mean, and Rancho they've already brought dirt in. They bring it in 2 or 3 times a year because of the rainstorms, and you see what happens.
And then, you know, then the ATVs now, they tear it up. But
right.
Like I said, you just got to be careful, especially if you did a research satellite top view and you just, you know, like, look at that's them people's, like, look at that. Put your window down for a second. Look at that was farmland. That's behind the Rancho, the Hillsborough River. That's people's property, private property now. Now, they've been here forever, so they know what the situation is. That used to be all dry before the tropical storm.
Came home Tuesday.
And that too. So, and you know it went even higher.
And these ditches, guys, are about 4 feet deep.
You could say. I mean, look at this. Again, but these are private properties that were not underwater prior to the tropical storm. But again, these people already know. They live here. Even the poor horse is like, I got nowhere to stand no more. And this is the next swampland subdivision that they're building in Kathleen, and they are pumping the heck out of it. This is going to be at least a good year before this is even started. Like, they even think about selling. And there's supposed to be a ton of houses coming here. They are filling this sucker up. They got this whole section closed because they know what people will be buying into. So be on the lookout for that. So again, guys, even though a subdivision can be built on a certain area, you still have to do some research. You know, you could say like, hey, I'm not worried about it. This subdivision, they're putting houses. Yes, but that does not mean
that it's not a flood area.
It's not a flood area. And if you don't have flood insurance because your area is not designated a flood zone, you're screwed. You're SOL. Hopefully FEMA, you know.
But if you're buying in the subdivision and you owe a mortgage, you have to have it. And you're going to pay through the nose in this state.
If it's a flood zone.
If it's a flood zone.
Right. If the area is not designated a flood zone,
right.
No, you do not have to have it. And that's what's happened in a lot of the Hillsborough, Tampa area. There's a lot of, is that a lot of people were not in a flood zone and they got flooded.
And if you're in, like, you live on a canal, or you live by a lake,
or you live by the retention pond. That's why I always say, do not buy
the houses
on the corners of the retention ponds.
Nope.
Because not only do they bring mosquitoes and everything,
They overflow.
They can overflow, and then
and
guess
it affects
what?
your house.
If it comes into your house, you don't have water damage, you're screwed.
Yep.
So, again, just wanted to show you one of the original, back in the 80s when they used to say, you know, when the term picking up, like when someone would say, yeah, I just bought land in Florida, sight unseen, you know, only through pictures. And they were like, yeah, you just bought swampland.
Yep.
Swampland.
Yep. It ain't oceanfront property, baby.
No. All right. So there are some subdivisions that are, the grounds are breaking and everything, no houses.
Right.
There's one that I do know that was a flood area, a swampland. They built it up. When they start building houses there, we'll check it out.
Yeah.
But this one's going to be a humongous subdivision. There's another subdivision. Ground's been sitting down for a while. Roads are open and everything, but no houses are built. They're still working on it because they're trying to figure out the kinks of the flooding. Because like I said, if they can somehow, you know, they showed the county somehow like, hey, we can maintain that flooding. And, you know, the county's going to say, yeah, because they want money.
Right.
Because, you know, they get so much $1,000 impact fee depending on your houses. You know, they're going to build there. But unfortunately, thank God this one was caught after all the approvals to build there. But the person knew, like, hey, you know.
Yeah, they knew something wasn't right.
Yeah, because over here in that subdivision, it wasn't a builder that was selling you a house. It was just a guy selling you the land. You had to get your own builder.
It was a private individual selling the land. And let me tell you what, they sued the hell out of that person.
Yeah, he went to jail. Like I said, it was a big
thing on the news.
And not everyone got their money back and everything. But
and they had to resell it. And
that's how they sold the deeds to people.
Yep.
And then
it's
just ATV park, a deeded ATV park.
Right, but back in the day,
with subdivision fees.
You know, back in the day, we would go out with our trucks and
you used to hang out there and everything,
and have barbecues
when it was open to the public, or you can say like, hey, my friend has property here.
Yeah.
Now it's no. You have to be there with the deed owner.
Yep.
So until the next video.
Everybody take care. Take care of one another. Take care of yourselves. See ya.